Please choose what training you want to go through. I will explain about moving. Jehuti follows the left stick operations. Press the triangle button to ascend. Press the X button to descend. Press the R2 button while moving to dash. Holding down the R2 button keeps you dashing. This is very effective to move quickly or dodge enemy attacks. Ending the explanation about moving. Jehuti is set up not to do that right now. I will explain about normal attack. When the enemy is at long distance range, the lock-on marker turns green. It turns red when the enemy is at close range. When the target is distant, press the square button, which will fire a shot. In a close-range battle, you will initiate a slashing attack by pressing the square button. Ending the explanation about normal attack. Jehuti is set up not to do that right now. Jehuti is set up not to do that right now. I will explain about dash attacks. Press the square button while dashing to perform a dash attack. In a close-range battle, a dash attack becomes a dash blade. In a long-distance battle, you can lock on to multiple enemies by pressing the square button. You can fire a homing laser by releasing it. Using homing lasers consumes sub-gauge power. The longer you hold down the square button, the more enemies you can lock onto. If you destroy multiple enemies at once, your sub-gauge will be restored even more. Ending the explanation of the dash attack. Jehuti is set up not to do that right now. Jehuti is set up not to do that right now. Jehuti is set up not to do that right now. Jehuti is set up not to do that right now. Jehuti is set up not to do that right now. Jehuti is set up not to do that right now. I will explain about burst attacks. When Jehuti is not moving, you can change to burst mode by pressing the R2 button. You can perform burst attacks by pressing the square button in this mode. A close-range burst attack is a burst blade attack. A long-distance burst attack is a burst shot. By holding down the square button, you can charge power for a burst shot. Burst attacks are very powerful and penetrate the enemy's guard. A burst shot consumes sub-gauge power. Ending the explanation of burst attacks. I will explain how to guard yourself. By pressing the R1 button, Jehuti takes a guard position and can block enemy attacks. But not all attacks can be blocked. You cannot guard yourself from enemy burst attacks or grab attacks. Ending the explanation about guarding. Jehuti is set up not to do that right now. I will explain how to switch between locked targets. When Jehuti gets close enough to an enemy, Jehuti locks on automatically. If there are multiple enemies, you can select an enemy to lock onto by pressing the L2 button. You can switch between locked targets by using the right stick. You can deselect the target by holding down the L2 button. Ending the explanation of switching locked targets. I will explain about the ring radar. When an enemy gets close to Jehuti, the ring radar appears. The ring radar turns green when the enemy is far away. It turns orange when the enemy gets closer. The size of the ring radar represents the distance from the enemy. When an attack from outside the screen approaches Jehuti, a red ring radar appears. In this case, the marker shows the direction and distance of the incoming attack. The closer the attacker gets, the larger the ring radar becomes. Ending the explanation of the ring radar.